In the midst of life's chaos and challenges, Stoic wisdom is making a strong comeback. It offers a liberating insight for personal growth. We may need to untangle ourselves from certain relationships, even those with close friends or family. This isn't an invitation to isolation, but a path to authenticity and inner peace. Today we'll explore 11 signs that suggest it's time. This statement encapsulates the essence of personal liberty and self-direction, both fundamental for flourishing and individual development within any relationship. Signs of manipulation and control indicate a compromise of one's autonomy, where our thoughts, decisions, and actions are consistently influenced or dictated by another, infringing significantly upon our personal freedom. This contradicts Stoic ideals that prioritize self-governance and individual independence. Recognizing signs of a manipulative or controlling relationship is crucial. These signs may manifest through constant criticism, diminishing self-worth, social isolation, or decisions imposed without consideration for others' opinions. Such behaviors not only erode self-assurance, but also trap individuals in a cycle of emotional and psychological dependence. Acknowledging such limitations on personal autonomy marks the initial step toward liberation. Epictetus emphasizes that genuine freedom stems from self-mastery, necessitating the establishment of healthy boundaries and, if necessary, terminating relationships that hinder essential freedom. While ending a manipulative relationship may be daunting and painful, it signifies an act of courage and a pivotal move towards reclaiming control over one's life. This journey of liberation revolves around self-discovery, self-affirmation, and, above all, the reaffirmation of one's worth and independence. In essence, recognizing and distancing ourselves from manipulative or controlling relationships demonstrate profound self-respect, aligning with Epictetus's counsel that relationships should contribute more to our well-being than harm. Cultivating relationships that honor our autonomy enables us to thrive and realize our full potential. Moreover, addressing mutual respect within interpersonal relationships is pivotal, particularly in line with Stoic principles that advocate for dignity and self-restraint. Relationships lacking mutual respect are incongruent with these values and can foster an environment of misunderstanding, devaluation, and ongoing tension. Respect serves as the cornerstone. Healthy relationships are founded upon respect, which involves valuing differences, listening and comprehending the perspectives of others, and demonstrating empathy and consideration. Without respect, communication breaks down, conflicts escalate, and harmony deteriorates. Relationships lacking mutual respect often display contempt, destructive criticism, disregard for each other's needs and feelings, and sometimes even abusive behavior. These negative attitudes not only erode the relationship itself but also profoundly affect the self-esteem and emotional well-being of the individuals involved. Stoic teachings stress the significance of upholding dignity and self-control in all interactions, emphasizing treating others with the same respect and consideration we expect for ourselves. In situations where mutual respect is lacking, it is crucial to assess the relationship and contemplate necessary changes to restore a healthy dynamic. This may involve open communication, establishing clear boundaries, and, in certain cases, creating distance, particularly if disrespect is a recurring and irreparable pattern. Recognizing the absence of respect in a relationship and taking action to address it or distance oneself from it are essential steps in preserving one's dignity and mental well-being. Ultimately, choosing relationships based on mutual respect aligns with a journey of self-worth and personal development, in line with Stoic principles of dignity and self-restraint. Additionally, when relationships impede personal growth, it sends a powerful message that genuine friendships withstand the test of time. Reflecting on the essence of friendship and familial love, these bonds should ideally support and guide us in our pursuit of wisdom and virtue. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that certain relationships may divert us from this path of growth, when emotional ties begin to hinder our individual evolution. Certainly, this is a moment that calls for profound introspection. We must scrutinize and reassess these connections, acknowledging that this process is challenging and demands both self-reflection and the courage to make difficult decisions. At times, it becomes necessary to reevaluate long-standing bonds, examine family dynamics, or distance ourselves from friendships that impede rather than enhance our personal growth. This journey is one of self-discovery, emphasizing self-appreciation above all else. The fundamental understanding is that our personal growth is intimately linked to the individuals we choose to accompany us on our path. Healthy, nurturing relationships inspire us to strive for excellence, present positive challenges, and, most importantly, respect our essence and life aspirations. When confronted with relationships that hinder our progress, the wisdom of Seneca becomes paramount. We should seek genuine connections that withstand the trials of time and adversity, relationships that support us in our pursuit of wisdom, and above all, journey alongside us toward virtue. This journey is replete with discoveries, challenges, and, at times, necessary renewals. Regarding the fourth point, when examining relationships that do more harm than good, it's crucial to emphasize the importance of inner well-being in each individual's journey. Toxic relationships, characterized by draining energy, constant emotional discomfort, and a negative atmosphere, contradict the notion of personal growth and advancement. In such instances, it's vital to recognize that persistent tension, unresolved conflicts, mutual disrespect, and a lack of emotional support are clear indicators of a harmful relationship. These dynamics not only hinder personal development, but can also contribute to a decline in mental and physical health. Toxicity in a relationship often manifests through continual criticism, a lack of empathy, manipulation, or even emotional abuse, establishing a detrimental cycle of negativity. Certainly, this is a moment that calls for profound introspection. We must scrutinize and reassess these connections, acknowledging that this process is challenging and demands both self-reflection and the courage to make difficult decisions. At times, it becomes necessary to reevaluate long-standing bonds, examine family dynamics, or distance ourselves from friendships that impede rather than enhance our personal growth. This journey is one of self-discovery, emphasizing self-appreciation above all else. The fundamental understanding is that our personal growth is intimately linked to the individuals we choose to accompany us on our path. Healthy, nurturing relationships inspire us to strive for excellence, present positive challenges, and, most importantly, respect our essence and life aspirations. When confronted with relationships that hinder our progress, the wisdom of Seneca becomes paramount. We should seek genuine connections that withstand the trials of time and adversity, relationships that support us in our pursuit of wisdom, and, above all, journey alongside us toward virtue. This journey is replete with discoveries, challenges, and, at times, necessary renewals. Regarding the fourth point, when examining relationships that do more harm than good, it's crucial to emphasize the importance of inner well-being in each individual's journey. Toxic relationships characterized by draining energy, constant emotional discomfort, and a negative atmosphere contradict the notion of personal growth and advancement. In such instances, it's vital to recognize that persistent tension, unresolved conflicts, mutual disrespect, and a lack of emotional support are clear indicators of a harmful relationship. These dynamics not only hinder personal development, but can also contribute to a decline in mental and physical health. Toxicity in a relationship often manifests through continual criticism, a lack of empathy, manipulation, or even emotional abuse, establishing a detrimental cycle of negativity. This involves practicing patience, understanding, and empathy, while also establishing healthy boundaries and, if necessary, distancing ourselves from relationships that hinder our emotional and intellectual growth. It's a journey of self-discovery and personal empowerment, where we learn to value relationships that uplift us and distance ourselves from those that diminish us. Relationships that pressure us to act against our principles, tolerate unacceptable behaviors, or sacrifice key aspects of our identity may initially seem inconsequential. However, over time, these compromises accumulate, weighing heavily on our self-esteem and sense of self-respect. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of living in alignment with our values, which requires the courage to make difficult choices, including distancing ourselves from situations that divert us from our path and seeking relationships that honor and reflect our fundamental principles. Reassessing a relationship based on its alignment with our values is a challenging task, potentially giving rise to internal conflicts, loyalty dilemmas, fear of loneliness, or resistance to change. Nonetheless, staying true to our values is essential for mental and emotional well-being, as it signifies self-respect and authenticity, crucial to remain aware of how our relationships influence and reflect our values. Recognizing when we compromise our values prompts serious consideration of whether the relationship contributes to personal growth and well-being. Choosing paths aligned with our values not only embodies a Stoic principle, but also represents a significant step toward leading a genuinely authentic and fulfilling life. Regarding the seventh point, Stoic philosophy strongly emphasizes the acceptance of reality, extending this principle to our interpersonal relationships. Relationships that tether us to illusions or foster denial of reality can be counterproductive and immensely detrimental. In Stoic teachings, accepting reality does not entail passivity or resignation, but rather entails having a clear and objective understanding of the world as it is, free from false expectations or idealizations. Applying this Stoic principle to our relationships underscores that maintaining connections based on illusions or denial inhibits us from living authentically and truthfully. Relationships that lead us to disregard the truth, whether through indulging in fantasies, making constant excuses for unacceptable behavior, or constructing an alternative reality, detach us from genuine self-awareness and understanding of others. This detachment from reality can result in overlooking serious issues, making decisions based on distorted perceptions, and perpetually living in a state of disillusionment. Such relationships may display characteristics such as unfulfilled promises, unrealistic expectations, or a refusal to acknowledge obvious problems, creating a breeding ground for frustration and dissatisfaction as we consistently seek something that isn't aligned with reality. Confronting the truth in a relationship can be daunting, especially when it involves dismantling illusions to which we are attached. However, it is a necessary step for personal development and for cultivating healthier and more realistic relationships. The Stoics encourage us to embrace reality, deal with situations as they are, and find serenity within that understanding. Therefore, it's crucial to recognize the signs indicating that a relationship is based more on illusion than reality. Identifying and distancing ourselves from such dynamics enable us to rediscover our path to a more authentic and satisfying life, aligning with Stoic principles of acceptance and a clear understanding of reality. Moving on to the eighth point, effective communication is a cornerstone of any thriving relationship. When faced with situations where communication consistently breaks down, whether one-sided or persistently fraught with conflict, it becomes a significant obstacle to harmony and mutual understanding, a sentiment underscored by Stoic philosophy. In relationships characterized by deficient communication, misunderstandings, frustrations, and resentments often take root. In the Stoic perspective, an imbalance in communication. In one-sided communication, where one party dominates the conversation or stifles the space for the other to express themselves, an imbalance arises. Similarly, communication characterized by constant conflicts and an inability to find common ground can be draining. The Stoics advocate for harmony and balance both internally and in relationships, championing the idea that understanding and peaceful dialogue should be sought, unnecessary conflicts avoided, and an environment of mutual respect promoted to enhance communication. In a relationship, it is crucial to practice active listening, express oneself clearly and respectfully, and be open to dialogue while understanding the other person's perspective. This involves openly discussing problems, sharing feelings and needs, and collaboratively working towards constructive solutions. In cases where communication consistently fails and efforts to improve are unsuccessful, reassessing the relationship may be necessary. Seeking professional help, such as a couples therapist or counselor, can be beneficial in overcoming communication barriers. Therefore, maintaining healthy and effective communication is foundational to the health and longevity of any relationship. This is not only crucial for individual well-being, but also pivotal in building harmonious and enriching relationships, aligning with Stoic teachings of balance and mutual understanding. Moving on to the 9th point, any form of abuse is completely unacceptable within the realm of any relationship. Stoic wisdom, emphasizing the significance of self-respect and dignity, unequivocally directs us to never tolerate abusive or harmful behaviors. Abuse can manifest in diverse ways: physical, emotional, verbal, psychological, or financial, and regardless of its form, it profoundly and adversely affects the mental, physical, and emotional health of the person experiencing it. Abusive relationships exhibit a pattern of control, intimidation, isolation, and fear. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value and respect ourselves, recognizing our intrinsic worth and refusing to accept treatment that compromises our integrity. Or, being in an abusive relationship entails being in an environment that consistently diminishes and dehumanizes, a scenario starkly at odds with what the Stoics would consider virtuous and dignified living. Recognizing that you are in an abusive relationship marks the crucial first step in seeking help and initiating change. It is vital to understand that abuse is never justifiable, and the responsibility for the abuse lies entirely with the abuser, not the victim. Seeking support, whether from friends, family, or professionals, is essential to extricate oneself from this situation. Exiting an abusive relationship is undoubtedly challenging, requiring courage and support, yet it is a vital step toward reclaiming self-esteem, self-respect, and freedom. The journey of recovery from an abusive relationship is not just about healing, but also a process of reaffirming one's own worth and strength. Therefore, being aware of the signs of abuse and taking immediate steps to protect oneself aligns with Stoic teachings of self-worth and self-respect. Living a dignified and respectful life, free from abuse, is a fundamental right for everyone. Regarding the 10th point, if a relationship disrupts your tranquility, attaining serenity and inner peace is a fundamental pursuit in Stoic philosophy, essential for a fulfilling and balanced life. When we find ourselves entangled in relationships that consistently disrupt our inner peace, it indicates a need to scrutinize these relationships and, if necessary, reevaluate or terminate them. Relationships that perpetuate internal turbulence through constant conflicts, anxiety, stress, or insecurity are incompatible with the Stoic principle of seeking serenity. Stoic philosophy guides us to value emotional balance and uphold inner calm, even in the face of challenging external circumstances. A relationship that serves as a perpetual source of disturbance obstructs the cultivation of this serenity, leading to a chronic state of emotional. Experiencing discomfort not only impacts our mental health, but also reduces our ability to find joy in life and participate in meaningful activities. In this context, it's crucial to evaluate how the relationship affects our overall well-being. This entails reflecting on the emotional impact of the relationship, identifying patterns of unresolved negativity, and determining if efforts to improve the dynamics of the relationship have been unsuccessful. Ending a relationship is never an easy decision, especially when strong emotions are involved. However, Stoic philosophy encourages us to prioritize decisions that align with our well-being and inner peace. This may involve distancing ourselves from relationships that undermine our tranquility. It's important to recognize that seeking serenity is not selfish, but rather a necessary step for self-preservation and living in harmony with our higher principles. Therefore, when faced with relationships that consistently disrupt our tranquility, we should gather the courage to make difficult choices, always striving for inner peace and balance. Reflecting on the wisdom of Epictetus, who stated that the first and greatest victory is to conquer oneself, we understand that the end of a relationship is not a failure, but a courageous step toward authenticity and personal wisdom. This challenging journey presents an opportunity for growth and reaffirmation of our highest values and principles. Moving on to the 11th point, reciprocity serves as a cornerstone for the health and longevity of any relationship. An imbalance where one party consistently gives while the other perpetually receives creates an environment of inequality that is harmful and unsustainable in the long run. In balanced relationships, both parties contribute and receive in a fair and equitable manner. While this exchange doesn't always have to be immediate or precise, there should be an overarching sense of mutuality and support thrive when both sides actively participate. Yet when one consistently takes on the role of the giver while the other remains the perpetual receiver, an imbalanced dynamic emerges. This fosters feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and devaluation, leading to an emotionally one-sided relationship where one person continuously provides support without receiving the same in return, whether emotionally or practically in daily tasks and important decision-making. As this imbalance becomes the norm, the relationship shifts from a partnership to a burden for one party. Recognizing the signs of a non-reciprocal relationship is crucial, and addressing the issue may involve open conversations about needs and expectations, redefining boundaries and responsibilities, and sometimes reassessing the long-term viability of the relationship. It's essential to acknowledge that self-respect and self-esteem are also at risk in such situations, as consistently being in a giving position without receiving due value and consideration can erode one's sense of self-worth. Seeking balance in a relationship isn't just about fairness. It's an act of self-care. Balanced relationships foster mutual growth, respect, and satisfaction for both parties, and these are the relationships we should strive to cultivate in our lives, for our well-being and that of those with whom we connect. Each choice we make, particularly those that lead us away from harmful situations, represents an act of courage and deep self-respect. Embracing this Stoic journey not only protects our well-being but also guides us toward a more virtuous and fulfilling life. If you found value in our content, consider subscribing, enabling notifications, and joining our community. This marks just the beginning of an extraordinary expedition of self-discovery and growth. I eagerly anticipate sharing more with you as we persist in our collective pursuit of a richer and more meaningful life. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic, and let the Stoic wines transform your life.